Happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. The following is the live call-in show from this past Sunday night, August 25th, 2024. During the show, we took lots of great calls. Julie called in all the way from over in Scotland to get things rolling, and she gave us some highlights from her trip last month where she was there during Hurricane Debbie or Tropical Storm Debbie, and she talked about how she took this storm and turned it into a great opportunity with low crowds. They threw on the ponchos and had some wonderful times with her family in the parks. We also had a hot take from myself about a new Disney commercial, which aired during college football this past weekend. I think Disney's sending the wrong message with this commercial, so I can't wait to hear your thoughts on that and much more on today's show. So I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. The one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make the show possible, so a huge thank you to you. You can support us as well, just $5 a month, and you'll get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We're waiting for you. Patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, August 25th, 2024. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Sunday night to you, or happy Thursday on the feed. Hey, you're all ready to football season, man. It's a big day Thursday here in the States, but right now it's Sunday night as we record, and we're going to have a great time over the next hour taking your calls at 407-413-9395. This is the show known as You, Me, and Scotty G. So joining us, we can't have that show without him. It's your friend from up in the mitten. Raise that hand. Show where you're from if you're from the state. I saw a truck pass me the other day, no kidding, right outside my subdivision with a sticker saying it's where you're from in the hand or something. I sent it to Scott. What's up, Scotty G? How's the weekend going?
It's going pretty good. Happy to be here. I've missed the last couple because I don't know what happened. I mean, I don't know what happened last Sunday. Right? I mean, we're going to hit the button and it never happened. So glad to be here because next weekend is Labor Day weekend. What happened this summer? What happened this summer, Mike?
It is 96 degrees here currently. So summer is hanging on. It is, it's at like last like gasp right now because because I told you, I think we've talked like it was in the 70s for a while here and it was gorgeous. Like, I mean, like it was a little cool. Like there was a day last week where I walked and I had to have on like a hoodie and stuff because it's so chilly. I had gloves on and, right. Yeah, 96 right now again because football season's starting. So we'll be sweating it out next week.
For sure. So I know you become president, freestyle machines go away. So my thing, and I know there's a reason why the seasons are set up the way they are, but it's confusing. Like to have like a mid to late month change of a season. I think a season should start at the start of a month. And I think fall should officially start September 1st. And then it would just be less confusing, right? So like summer would be June 1st through August 31st. I don't know. It makes sense in my head. But maybe that's just a Scotty G thing. But to me, that's when the fall really starts is September 1st. But it's not officially the end of summer. But to me, it is.
I've never thought about that in my life, but it makes too much sense. And that's why it doesn't work, right? Because it makes too much sense. Things that make sense never happen. That's a great idea.
And maybe it's just because of where I live, but like those winter officially starting like December 22nd makes zero sense because it's winter in November where I live for sure. It
keeps you guessing. Totally. Yeah. Okay. So we got to jump into this because I've been wanting to talk about this since the Florida State Georgia Tech game. And I swear we're not talking college football tonight, but what an upset because it moved Mizzou up into the top 10 as long as we take care of Murray State Thursday. But what a football game. Sorry for our friend Jason and and all of our
lots of friends. There's
we have a lot of Florida State fans. I know that was a crushing blow, but it is what it is, and it's going to happen to all of us at some point this year. They just got theirs out of the way and out of the country over in Ireland. But here's the deal. I'm watching this game, dude, and I'm fiending. We're all, college football fans. We're like, yes, we got a game to watch. And I was just glad it was a close game because honestly, I didn't think it'd even be that good of a game. I was glad it was like a decent game to watch. I was just like, yes, because I was watching Southeast Missouri State play. I was like, whatever. As long as there was a football in the game, I was pumped yesterday. But anyway, watching this game comes down to the very end. Like, it's a tie game. Like you could see it's going to come down to the kicker. We're not talking football, I swear. A commercial comes on with like inside the new 2-minute warning, right? Which the 2-minute warning moves to college football. Why is the reason they have a 2-minute warning? Put more commercials into the football game. That's the only reason it's there. So they can sell more commercials the end of the first half into the game. What kind of commercial comes on? It's a Disney commercial. It's a Walt Disney World commercial. Did you watch the game yesterday at the end?
No,
I didn't watch it. Okay. You probably haven't seen this commercial then. And maybe somebody else did see this commercial, and I don't know if they're running this campaign. This is a new campaign. By the way, real quick on this campaign. Before this campaign, they have been running, and I've talked about this on the podcast, this other campaign before this new one, where they just show these things. Like it'll say like, 3:12 p.m. and they'll show like people meeting stormtroopers in Galaxy's Edge, and like 4:14 p.m. and a girl running up to meet Cinderella in the Magic Kingdom. Dude, that is our show that we did 7 years ago, like right now at Walt Disney World. They stole that idea from us and we got nothing from it. I'm just saying that's totally was our idea and they ran with it and just made it visual, but that's beside the point. This new campaign, it's a great idea, but I am so fired up about this. And my wife said, be careful. Don't go on the air with this tomorrow night. Cause I told her about this on our walk last night. We walk every night. I said, I'm going on the air with my hot take, like a sports talk radio guy. I'm going to be on it. And she's like, be careful now, man. Those people get lit up on social media. I'm like, but they're going to be with me on this one. So let me set the scene. Cause I didn't even sleep last night about this. Cause I wanted to bring this to our audience. Commercial.
I'm so intrigued right now. I'm invested.
Here's so the campaign is going to it's going to be a series, right? Because I did read about this, I think in like Disney Travel Professionals about a month or two ago that they're going to launch this campaign. I saw the first commercial. It's probably going to be during football season. So what it is, there's like a Disney camera crew, kind of like a guerrilla camera crew, right? They're just going around. You see like a cameraman, you see like a sound man, sound person. You see like 3 or 4 people with like video equipment and sound equipment. And they're just like walking around a city and they'll walk up to people, like unassuming people. I don't know if this is fake. This is probably fake, but who knows? They walk up to people and they go, do you have a Disney story? Like they'd walk up to you on the corridor, like you'd be, I don't know, like I'm mowing the grass or something in Lansing. And they'd be like, hey dog, you got a Disney story. And you'd be like, do I have a Disney story? And everybody pulls out a phone, right? So everybody pulls out a phone. The premise of this is you pull out a phone and you show a picture on your phone, right? And then you tell the story of the picture. And that's the commercial, right?
Okay.
So the commercial they showed yesterday, and it's good. Like it makes you move at first until you think about it. It's a dad. And it's a dad and daughter commercial. So immediately I'm like, oh, they're going for me. They're going for you. Like they're going for us. Like, dude, dad, daughter. Okay, cool. So he's like, he shows the picture of him and his daughter watching the fireworks at the Magic Kingdom. They're watching Happily Ever After, probably. I mean, I'm assuming it's where we are. Okay. So I'm like, okay, sweet, dude, they're going for the emotions. Sweet. This is a smart move. Daughter's on the shoulders.
Oh,
the whole commercial is about putting her on the shoulders. He's like, I remember when I was a kid and my dad put me on his shoulders and it was such a big moment in my life. And, now the whole story has gone full circle. So when I got to bring my daughter to Walt Disney World to go see the fireworks for the very first time at the Magic Kingdom, she's like 5 or 6 in the picture, and put her on my shoulders to see the fireworks. Like, this is my favorite picture on my phone. And I'm thinking, no, like Disney, you cannot condone this behavior. I mean, am I wrong? Because I get like the picture is sweet as pie, right? I mean, it's a dad, daughter. She's on the shoulder. She's got on the headphones for the loud explosions and stuff. It's the cutest picture of all time. But it's sending a message that what about the people that are behind? I mean, what if this guy is in the hub? You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy might not be back in town square. This guy might be like right there where he's blocking, some poor 8-year-old kid that paid just as much money. And it's her first time trying to see the fireworks too. Like, I was thinking about this, like it's sending a very mixed message. I was bothered by this message that Disney is sending out during a very viewed football game. I mean, it was right down to the end of the thing. I don't know. What would your take on that be? Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I mean, I'm with you, Mike. They're encouraging that kind of behavior. I mean, the story is sweet, yes, but like, man, that's gonna fire up a lot of people if like everyone starts doing that now. Like, oh, I saw it in a Walt Disney World commercial, so it's got to be okay. And to me, it's not okay. Like I just like now I'm always for the carrying your child to your height level, like lifting them up and holding them like parallel with your head so that it's not going to make any difference really. But when no one is like, there's not very many people that are like that tall when you put a kid on top of your shoulders. I mean, that's like a very tall human, like taller than you, Mike. So I just like it, but I've seen it before in other advertisements is the thing. Like I've seen other, not like where they like talk about it, but like you'll see like firework promos and there'll always be like a kid sitting on someone's shoulder. So they put it in their media when they advertise, but with this being the focus, that's very interesting to me. Like I'm not a fan. Like, I'm giving it a thumbs down, man. I don't like it.
Yeah. I mean,
I love this comment. How did we get the commercial director blacklisted?
Well, the thing is, and I've always said what you say, like hip, put them on the hip so that it's like they're not blocking anything higher than I am, right? Because it would be no different than standing behind a guy that's 6'3". Because I mean, I understand, to do it. And I'm also aware because I'm a taller dude, right? I'm 6'3", so I also try to be, have awareness that if there's kids behind me, I'll take a step to the left. Because how hard is that to take a step to the left? I'm a tall guy. I want to be aware that even if there's a grandma that's 5'6", I want to make sure she gets to see the fireworks. And, Becca on Facebook here says they should make a PSA that fireworks are in the sky. You just have to look up. That used to be the case. But now, though, I mean, Disney has made it that probably 40% of the experience is projected onto the castle. So I get where you do want to try to see forward now just as much as up. I mean, that is kind of an important part of a show like Happily Ever After. But I just think that there has to be... I don't know. It just seems a little disrespectful to kind of promote that kind of behavior. I don't, but it makes a good commercial though, right? For folks that are going down. But I mean, if everybody did, that's the whole thing is you got to follow it through to like a logical conclusion. Like if everybody did that, what would it be? Chaos. It
would be. And not everyone's going to do that, but yeah, it's interesting that, I mean, I could see them continuing to do it like in advertisements where like it's in the background now, like in front of your face, but to throw that like topic, like right out there, like, ooh, kind of controversial to do that. Like, why would they do that, Mike? I don't know.
And I did see a couple people mention this after I thought about it on Twitter today. Like I saw a couple people kind of talking about it too, but it's just one of those things like, and I'm not trying to be a negative person, but it just, you got to be aware. I think that there's other people that are trying to get the same enjoyment out of the fireworks, like even me, when I go to Disneyland, I was 50 years old or 48, 49 years old. My first time I went to Disneyland and I wanted to see those fireworks, and if somebody would have hoisted up, a 5'9" guy would have hoisted up a kid that made the person 6'5" in front of me. I'd have been a little fired up because, I have the right to be able to see that fireworks show as best I can because I've traveled halfway across the country and I really wanted to take in that experience, and everybody has that right. I don't know.
I mean, that exact story happened to me at Disneyland Paris. I mean, it really did. I waited 90 to 120 minutes to see the show. And then sure enough, some guy just put his kid on his shoulders, like two people in front of us, just like really just changed my sight line for the spot I had been waiting for like 90 plus minutes. I mean, I wasn't going to go up to the guy, but you could tell like people were like looking around like, what the heck? Like what just happened?
And that's the thing is like, you don't want to have a confrontation in a theme park. You're not going to do that, but it does, what it does, it causes friction, right? Because all of a sudden it's kind of an uneasiness in the crowd because then what happens is your kid's like, Dad, I can't see now. And so then you're like in a spot where it almost feels like if you don't put your kid on your shoulders, but then if you do, you're like a big jerk. You know what I'm saying? Because then it's a domino effect, but then your kid can't see because the kid in front of them. Yeah, I don't know. So give us a call, 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. Another thing we wanted to do tonight was to continue the stock up and stock down, and we will have the sound effects for you ready to rock if you have one at Walt Disney World. Give us an experience, an attraction, a show that you think has the stock up or stock going down. And I will say, and I have some feedback from the clubhouse too for some tips for a recent trip and for the Halloween party that I saw that I wanted to share tonight at some point during the show too. But Jason, our good friend, he had a good one for, I think it was stock down, Tomorrowland Speedway. I mean, that one, it has to have the days numbered, right? With cars coming to the Magic Kingdom.
One would think.
I didn't even think about that. And why didn't they put cars over there? That was a good discussion we had in the clubhouse going yesterday, but we have our first call tonight. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey, Mike, it's Julie in Scotland.
Hey, how are things over in Scotland? You guys were closer to the first college football game than either Scotty G or myself. Kind of jealous. I mean, Ireland had them.
Yeah, we didn't make it. Sorry.
I mean, you were closer. I mean, you weren't that close, but I mean, a lot closer than we were. So hope you're doing well. Good to see you. How was your trip? We so loved watching it over in the clubhouse.
Good. We had the best time. We had such a good trip. It felt like a Be Our Guest podcast, greatest hits. We did all the things that everyone had recommended on the podcast, in the clubhouse, and we had the best time. It was such a good trip.
Oh, that's so good to hear. Because you come from such a distance, I worry. I mean, we get to go a little bit more often, so I don't worry quite as much about us two clowns here on the show. But wanted you to have a wonderful. What was a highlight for you? Maybe give us a couple of the highlights.
Yeah, sure. One of the things that ended up being a highlight that probably shouldn't have been was the storm that we had kind of midway through the trip. We had that storm, what was it called, Debbie,
yep.
that hit for a couple of days while we were there. And it forced us to really slow down and enjoy the resort and enjoy things that we hadn't done before. We spent a morning at the pool before the storm really hit. And then we hit World Showcase. I think we posted a picture of us in Germany with ponchos on, and maybe it looked a bit miserable, but it really wasn't. We had the best day. We saw all of the shows that we hadn't seen before. Impressions de France, I have seen it now. I agree, it is excellent. So we did all sorts of things like that we've never done before in all the years we've been going to Walt Disney World. So that was a really good thing.
So you saw the Storm Debbie as an opportunity rather than a bad thing. You got out there, put on the ponchos, and just rolled right along.
Yeah, 100%. One of the days that the storm hit, we planned to do a 4-part challenge, and we looked at the weather and thought, not today. And we spent the morning in Coronado Springs, in Barcelona Lounge, playing Uno, talking to cast members, having snacks, and it was the best. We had such a good time.
Scott, I mean, that sounds like what you guys did.
I mean, Julie had a Scotty G type trip, Impressions de France and Barcelona Lounge, playing card games. Like that's vacation right there to me.
Do you know what though, Scotty? Both the kids kept saying, when are Chip and Dale going to come and play cards with us?
Oh man, I wish they would have. That would have been amazing for you if they would have shown up and started cheating for you.
But that same afternoon though, we had a really good character interaction. So again, the weather was horrible, but we had planned to go to Animal Kingdom and we had reservations at Tusker House, which we'd never been to before. So again, we thought, well, we don't want to miss a reservation. We stayed in the resort for most of the day and then decided, let's do it, let's go to the park. And we went to Tusker House. It was deserted. There was hardly anyone in there. So the characters spent well over an hour going round the sort of 6 or 7 tables that were there. And we had such good interactions with the characters. It was such good fun. And the kids said it's the best character meal they've ever had at Walt Disney World. We had such a good day.
That's great.
It is. There's so few people there. Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck was feeding you, scooping your mac and cheese into your mouth there. That'd be fun.
Exactly, yeah. That's what it felt like. It was so cool, so cool. So yeah, we enjoyed the weather. We embraced it. It didn't hold us back, and it made us do things that we've never done, and we probably wouldn't have done on that trip if it hadn't been for the bad weather.
That's so good to hear, because the thing is, you make these plans, and I know that, I've said this before, like when you make the plans at home and you're thinking about it 9 months in advance, 6 months in advance, even 2 weeks before the trip, in your mind's eye, it's always 75 degrees and sunny, like you're always picturing, the outfits I'm going to wear, the weather is always perfect. And then when you get here, you have no control over the weather, and what happens is what happens. But you got to make the best of it, because time's going to tick by no matter what. And you guys were a perfect example of that. But, sometimes, low crowds give you opportunities, and you guys knocked it out of the park because of it.
Yeah, we got to do rides that we hadn't planned on doing because crowds were lower. What I will say is, though, I think we're lucky because although we only get to go maybe once a year or once every other year, when we're there, we have 14 days to play with. So if something doesn't happen because of weather, it doesn't really matter. We can try again in a few days, whereas I think for a lot of families from the US, you're maybe going for a trip and you only have 5 days, and you maybe only have one Magic Kingdom day. So if the weather ruins that Magic Kingdom day, it must kind of suck. So actually, we're pretty lucky the position that we're in.
I love your attitude. You got the best attitude. By the way, because you have another fellow Scotland folks tuned in, Mohawk from the clubhouse. He wants me to ask you, because he's tuned in over on Twitch. He says, ask Julie if she's enjoying her, and in quotations, random bank holiday weekend. Are you enjoying this random bank holiday weekend?
That's why I'm up at midnight on a Sunday, because I don't have to work tomorrow. Why? I have absolutely no idea.
Scott, we got to move out to a different country. We got to get some of these, get in on this.
I mean, I feel like in my line of work, I get a lot of bank holidays, and I take advantage of that. I book out my travel around those, I mean, maybe makes it busy travel usually here in the States for that. But yeah, maybe I'm starting to think we don't have enough. I thought we always had a good amount, but maybe we don't, Mike. Maybe we need more.
I mean, I get none, so I'll take anything I get. I'm always, I work on Christmas Day, so it's fine.
Yeah, no, we're lucky. I have thoughts on the commercial that you were just talking about with the kid on the shoulders.
Please.
So I work in marketing, and that feels like a big marketing fail to me.
Well, so I have, and I don't know if you saw, there was a little controversy during the Olympics, and this was very similar to something that happened during the Olympics. Google had a commercial, and it was probably just for the American market. So I don't know if you saw this or not, but maybe it wasn't. There was a commercial where there's an American sprinter, and there was this little girl that was growing up she wanted to emulate this American sprinter, right? And basically the whole gist of the commercial was that her dad wanted her to write a letter to this sprinter and tell her that she looks up to her, but she was going to one day beat her because she's going to train so hard. She looks up to her, she's going to emulate her, and she's going to beat her. But the whole point is it was promoting Google's Gemini AI, right? Artificial intelligence. And what it was, this commercial was so tone deaf. The commercial said to go to Google and have this Gemini AI write the letter for the kid to the sprinter, to the American sprinter. And it got so much hate because what the dad should do. And I was one of the very first ones to get on Twitter and really rip this one too, because I'm an educator, right? I'm like, no. You shouldn't have AI write the letter for the kid. How about dad sits down with the daughter and they write the letter together and make it a teachable moment as to how to write a letter to somebody and express your thoughts and talk about how you're going to come up with a training plan and how you really, what character traits does this athlete have that you look up to? Don't have Gemini write it for you. It can in 10 seconds, it can. It'll probably be a killer letter, but it was so tone deaf. It's like the robots are taking over. They immediately pulled it. They pulled it real quick. I think it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I bet. I think, though, it sounds like that commercial too, but the Disney one also, with the kid on the shoulders, it perpetuates something that irritates me in Walt Disney World. And it's one of the few things it does. We're very positive. We always look for the goods. We have an amazing time in the parks. We really do. But when we don't, it's usually down to other guests. And I think that commercial perpetuates that sense of entitlement, that sense that my vacation is more important than anyone else's. And that's what tends to ruin other people's vacations or other people's experiences. So, yeah, that ad does not appeal to me. I haven't seen it. And it's similar with AI. AI kind of encourages you to cheat a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a shortcut, isn't it? And if everyone just does it, yeah, slightly the more difficult way, you have to jostle a little bit, you have to move to the left, move to the right. But yeah, don't put your kids on your shoulders. That's cheating, and it cheats everyone else too.
You know what it's like, Mike? It's like they're promoting like a Major League Baseball, like Little League, like, oh, you got to get into the big leagues. And this dad tells his kid, like, all right, I know that other pitcher's throwing a no-hitter. You're gonna lay down a bunt right now.
Yeah,
it's just like unbroken rules. Like, it's encouraging 100%. Unbroken rules.
It's wild. It is. I mean, it's crazy. But hey, Julie, I appreciate you calling, and I got to say this, you are such a great part of our community, and you just have the most positive spirit. And I love that we can have such an international flavor to our community. And I really hope that we can hang out sometime at Walt Disney World. Nothing would make me happier.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? You made the community, you and Scotty and Ricky and Pam. What a great community it is. You should be really proud of it, and we love being part of it.
Well, it's all of us together. It's a wonderful thing. So you always hang there with us, and we'll always be here together. So you have a great rest of your bank holiday. I don't know how long it is, but man, enjoy it, whatever it's for.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
We'll talk to you soon, Julie. Don't be a stranger. Talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
And for our friend Mark Yerkes, because he's going to bust me out, because he busts me out when I like misspeak. I meant to say unwritten rules. I kept saying unbroken, and I caught myself right after that. So.
Good. And Mark will call. So
yeah,
he'll at least text right away. He'll text. All right, we have our next call. Thanks for calling in. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Well, this is Jody and Landon and Lindsay.
We know where you're calling from, the home of Skyline Chili.
Let's not bring that up. Scott doesn't like it.
I know. That is a fact.
Oh, you can totally bring it up. It's totally fine. But
cinnamon.
I'm not going to do a triple style or whatever. I don't even know what it's called. I forget.
A 5-way?
4 ways or something.
5-way, yeah.
Yeah, we have 5-way here. Yeah, that's good.
So Landon was hoping to give you maybe, I know this isn't the topic of the show tonight, but maybe give you a quick highlight from our Alaska trip to on the Wonder, both the ship and Alaska. Is that cool with you guys?
Dude, that's why we're on the air. Let's go. Yeah.
All right. Landon, you ready? Mm-hmm. He's got a mouthful of chocolate chips. Let's see how this goes.
You must share with the class if you're going to have chocolate chips.
All right. Give your top thing from the Wonder.
From the ship? Definitely their ice cream. It's exceptional.
Of course.
It's just amazing. Nothing can beat it.
Did they have any unique flavors, Landon? Like sometimes they'll have like banana or like strawberry, or was it kind of like just vanilla and chocolate?
They had blueberry this time.
Whoa!
I've never seen before.
Whoa! I've never seen that either. That's crazy.
Yeah.
How was the blueberry?
I did not try it. I was sticking to the chocolate the entire
time.
Dude,
you got to think about the research. You had to think like, I'm going to call into the Be Our Guest podcast. I should probably taste this blueberry ice cream to let Mike and Scott know how it was.
I'm saying.
I guess I just had to book another cruise on the Wonder. I guess.
Blueberry. I've never heard of that. Huh.
Yeah, it was. Oftentimes though the ice cream machines were broken. A couple of them broke down a couple times.
No, that's a crime. That's a crime.
Yeah, I know.
There was actually a blueberry festival going on in Ketchikan when we were at port, but we didn't see one blueberry the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. That was confusing.
It was a little
fake
confusing.
news.
That's funny.
All right, you want to tell me your favorite thing about Alaska in general?
Favorite thing about Alaska was the dog sled.
Was
really fun.
If you did not say that, we're gonna have to have words, because I saw those pictures and those dogs were all. I mean, obviously I didn't get to do it, but I mean I'm a dog person and I would kill to do something like that.
Those were so cool.
Yeah, that looked
tell
awesome.
them how we got to the dogs.
We took a helicopter ride.
Oh, just see, I'm out. I'm not getting on a helicopter, dude. No way. I am not. I just started riding airplanes, and my cousin told me he rode a helicopter one time. I'll tell you real quick in 30 seconds. My cousin, who's just like me, but he's a country boy, he rides rodeos. He His wife convinced him at Lake of the Ozarks down by Branson one time to do a helicopter. Like, you know how they do those helicopter tours in Orlando? You see that the helicopter do like the laps around. His wife talked him in on, like, they just got married. They're on their honeymoon. They went to Branson and they're going to do a helicopter tour. He went up and he paid the helicopter pilot 3 times as much to put the helicopter straight back down. Cause he was like, I am not, he's like, nope. He's like, I will pay you. He's like, and I will kill you if you don't put this thing back down right now. He's like, and I'm paying you 3 times as much as we paid to put this thing right back down. Cause he said it was so scary. So nope. I love dogs, but I do not love dogs that much. But go ahead. So I will never do this unless I can like take a sled there or something. But go ahead.
So did you know about the dogs or was that a surprise?
It was a surprise. Did not know about it until about
When we landed?
day 3 of this.
How many dogs were there?
Too many. 250. I knew that.
250?
dogs.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Nope. 250 dogs. And
None of them were scared of the helicopters, which is the craziest part.
Yeah, they could care less about the helicopters. It was the first day and 3 weeks that they had seen sunshine, apparently. So the dogs were all laying on top of their houses, getting a lot of sunshine. They were pretty happy about it. So what was your favorite dog's name?
Wizard.
Yeah.
Very cute dog.
Yeah.
Wizard
he
of
was
dogs.
a lead dog.
200 so are they all like huskies?
They're husky mixes. They're not as big or as, like, you know, you think of huskies and they have the blue eye and the dark eye or whatever, the 2 colored eyes. They weren't quite like that. They were I would say every single one of them was a mix. Wouldn't you, Landon?
Yeah.
Yeah. And ours were actually from,
We saw baby dogs too.
we did see puppies. About the puppies.
Wow.
Well, how many were there? Do you remember?
There was like 7, maybe
6 or 7.
6 or 7. Very small. And they were interacting with the humans. Like, it was weird. They were interacting with us.
Yeah. Mama wasn't so sure about all of us, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anything else you want to tell them about it? No? You can't just shake your head. They can't hear you at the podcast.
Yeah. This is an audio show.
Overall,
Is Lindsay there? Did Lindsay have something that she liked?
Well,
She's
Lindsay
gone.
left, so she got embarrassed and left. So
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
that's how
you know,
girls do,
teenage
Scott.
girls.
You're a girl dad.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So
We all have
so
them.
Landon, tell us about like a restaurant that was different on the Wonder than the Wish. Like, did you have a restaurant that really jumped out to you?
My favorite restaurant is this one. This one's not like only to the Wonder, but Animator's Palette's my favorite. But I like Tiana's a lot too.
But Animators is different than the Dream and the Fantasy.
Yeah.
So I think we actually like it better on the Wonder, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Like we kind of like the old school.
It's
Yeah.
Does it still have like those graded walls? Excuse me, like the black and
Yeah.
white.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
almost
That
like
classic
board
look.
type of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of like shines through as it changes throughout the dinner. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we like how the old animation went to the new animation
Mhm.
every night. That was really cool. So you'd have like black and white. You'd try to figure out what character it was, and then it would come to life. That was really awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we probably, I think Animator's Palette was all of our favorites.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Tiana was awesome too. And Triton was fine.
No, I don't
but
like Triton.
oh no, you don't like it.
Mm-mm. Too
Tell them
fancy.
about your least favorite food on the ship,
Patty.
or pate.
That's exactly. I
it.
love it. That's
No.
Oh,
No.
that's so me, Landon. I
bad.
would call it Patty too. I'd be
You-
the same way.
You are an experiment
But
eater.
you
If listeners don't know, like when we did our podcast cruise last year, we did a recap show and a recap video. And if you've seen anyone eating broccoli with their ice cream or their dessert, that's Landon for you. So you'll do the broccoli for dessert and ice cream, but you won't do the pate. Okay, noted.
Patty.
Not the
Yeah.
patty.
Not
Patty.
the pate.
I don't like the patty.
Did you have broccoli every single night though?
No.
Yes, you did.
One night I didn't.
Well, it was
But I had other broccoli. So.
fancy
Bad.
broccoli.
Ew.
What was your favorite show? Do you remember? Tough question. You like the
None of them.
ventriloquist a lot.
Oh yeah, the ventriloquist was fun.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, he
I
made you
mean,
laugh.
come on.
Yeah, I like the ventriloquist. He's always fun.
Shocking that Landon skipped the Frozen show.
Huh.
I saw a lot of whales though. I skipped it and watched whales. I saw a lot of them.
That's better.
I mean, yeah. Whales are frozen. Do you land in? Yeah, whales win every time. I agree.
So Jody, I think a lot of
Anything else
listeners
you wanna
are curious about Alaska. So I think your port was out of Vancouver. Is that right? And then like what ports did you go to? Did you have a favorite port?
Ketchikan.
Oh,
Ketchikan was the best port ever.
why? What did you love there?
The name Ketchikan.
That is
What else
yeah,
Fun to
that's
say.
good. That's a good name.
It's fun to say.
He's not wrong.
the salmon bedding.
Yeah,
Or the salmon race.
we were okay. The
Shut
salmon
up,
betting
this
makes it sound like
gambling.
we're like. Okay, so we watched the salmon swimming upstream, and we would cheer on the salmon to get to their next level because they literally were going up a waterfall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. Like, and so
Wow.
there would be a pocket of them, maybe 3 or 4, and one of them would go, and we'd sit there and cheer them on, like, "Come on, buddy, you can do it!" Right?
Mm-hmm.
We'd cheer them on, and Lana and I were calling it what levels?
Mm-hmm. Different levels like video games. We had, I think the highest we saw was level 6.
Yeah,
We couldn't get to like level 10 or anything.
but they were honest to goodness swimming upstream. I mean, it's nothing like I've ever seen before. It was so cool. That was
Yeah.
in Creek Street in Ketchikan. I'd absolutely recommend spending some time there. That was pretty
Fish are
awesome.
Huge.
Yeah, they were gigantic.
Huge.
That's very
Oh,
cool.
and what else did you see? You saw you're the only one in your family who saw it.
Oh, a bear.
Like you saw like in the wild, a wild bear.
Yeah, it was by like a creek. I'm gonna guess probably trying to find some fish. So it was pretty cool.
As long as you're not the slowest one in the party you're with, you're good.
Exactly.
You know, as long as you can outrun, you don't have to be faster than the bear. You just got to be faster than somebody
Yeah.
with you.
So lots of whales, bald eagles, salmon, bear. You saw the bear. We didn't. A family that we met, they saw moose. We did not. That was sad for me. What else did we see? Anything you could think of? It's pretty all the wild. Oh, a mountain goat.
Oh, we saw a seal.
Oh, we saw seal. Yeah.
seal.
And Vancouver is awesome. I definitely would recommend spending some time in Vancouver. That's a great city.
Everybody says
Right.
that. That's an awesome city. Yeah.
Besides your pizza.
Yeah, pizza maybe not so great, but all the other meals were good.
Yeah, those were good. Besides
Yeah.
the pizza.
Yeah, that was really late night and we were hungry though.
That's true. But they did have. Oh, they had that really cool park.
Stanley Park.
Like Stanley.
What did we do there?
Bike.
Yeah.
And we saw a big seal.
Okay, is that where you guys had that bridge that was super skinny or like super high or something? That like I saw the picture, I'm like, nope.
Oh, that was at
First day.
the first day. That was also in Vancouver. That was at why can't I think of the park name? Capilano Park. Yeah, the
That
suspension
looked
bridge.
gorgeous.
Suspension bridge.
Yeah.
That looked really cool.
That was
I mean,
awesome.
So pretty. Yeah.
Well,
Man.
we'll let you guys go. We just wanted to give you a little recap, Lane. I want to tell
Oh.
you some of his favorite things and his how many ice creams did you eat? Tell Scotty.
20.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Dude, that's a
New
lot of ice
record.
cream. That's almost 3 a day.
That's good. Hey,
Yeah,
that's
that's really
why
good.
that's why you
I had
cruise.
7. So I kind of slowed down.
Well
But-
done.
Just imagine if you would have had one blueberry, it would have been exactly 3 a day. But next time try the
Dude, when your
blueberry.
landing's age, that
yeah.
stuff that stuff doesn't even
Yeah,
you
you messed
could
that
just
up.
yeah, you
Yeah.
could just tear it up. I mean, the metabolism's through the roof.
Yeah. No, that's impressive. That's impressive.
At
20 ice
13,
creams. I like
absolutely.
it.
It's not fair. Oh
right.
man, I'm
Yeah.
so
Ooh,
glad you
and their
guys had a good
shawarmas
time.
were good.
Oh, yeah.
What was?
Tell them that. Say what you said.
Their shawarmas were really good too.
Oh.
On the Wonder.
On the Wonder.
Nice.
You're killing me
Yeah,
now.
so
'cause-
instead of like they have the hamburgers and the pizza, but they also have a shawarma station. It was pretty awesome.
Yes, it was
Shut
really good.
up.
Dude, I'd be there all the time.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So is
Right,
it
now I'm ready to book a cruise, man. I need to get back on a ship.
well because I love all
know.
that like
Cruises
what,
are so awesome.
well, because that one's a lot
Yeah.
different. I mean,
They're
because you can
definitely
see all that natural stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot different than a Bahamas, Caribbean. You know, you're seeing nature. You're seeing mountains and glaciers.
And I have not been on the Wonder
wildlife.
of the Magic. I gotta make that happen before.
I'm excited to
they
see the
make it go
Magic.
away.
I haven't been on the Magic. I've been on the Wonder of the Magic, but I haven't been on them. And God, Mallory was 8 when I was on the Wonder. She's 16.
Yeah, we're
so it's been
dying to
8
get
years.
on the Magic, so that's
And their other 10,000 cruise ships they just announced.
Yeah, I know. Seriously,
did.
now you got. Now it's like it's going to be 13 here soon. But real quick,
Yeah.
Joe, let me ask you this: did you feel a difference, like as far as when you were getting on and off the ship and dining, like in the crowd size from being on one of the bigger ships?
So Actually, one of our favorite things, Jack Jack's diaper race, only had one contestant this year.
Dude,
That
guaranteed
was
win.
like a big thing. Only one contestant. That was sad.
That
They
is
should have
sad.
had the parents do like a
They
battle
won,
then.
though. Yes,
Yeah, they
did.
should have. Yes.
The parents
Actually,
have to
the
crawl.
baby actually did race. The baby did crawl before they gave the baby the prize. It was kind of cute, but compared to Caribbean cruises where there's heats and
Yeah,
rounds,
there's
and
heats.
there was literally one baby, one.
Oh,
It's pretty funny.
I'm glad they made him at
But
least
yeah,
run the race to get the prize. I mean, yeah, you got to at least make it official. Totally. That's
I mean,
good.
so our ship had 2,400 passengers, and then tell them about the day in Juneau how many people got off that other ship,
There was like, what ship was it called?
the Royal Caribbean.
There was a ship called the Royal Caribbean. It had 7,600 people on it.
That's a big ship.
I think that's like three
The
of
old
our ships.
RC.
That's a giant ship.
That was
Yeah,
a
it is.
little bit different. So we were leaving Juneau when they were all getting to port, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So that was a different feeling from when we started to when they got there, right?
Yeah, I mean, they just came in like a herd. It was like, boom.
And Landon, just so that the listeners know, what was the name of that ship called again?
The RC.
The
Royal
Royal Caribbean.
So Scott just sailed. Buddy.
Mm-mm. I feel bad for Scotty. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just being funny because like it would have a name. Anyway, it's funny. I think the listeners find it.
He
funny.
didn't know the name of the ship. He just
Yeah.
knew the brand
It
name.
was. It said Royal. Dude, it said it right on the side. It was the Royal.
It said it
Caribbean.
right on the side. I saw this logo.
It was in blue. It had an anchor.
I actually don't know what the ship's name was.
It had this very broad name. I remember it was like,
It said something in the
Yeah, that's
seas.
not
Oh, yeah,
helpful.
something
You
of
can't
the
do that.
seas, I bet
They
you.
can't see
Something
your
of the
hand
seas.
gestures, Landon. It's a podcast. They can't see that.
But that's the benefit,
All
right,
right,
of those
anything
smaller
else
ships.
you want to
Yeah.
tell them about our Alaska cruise?
nope.
So Ketchikan was your favorite port. Juneau, dog sledding and helicopter was pretty awesome. And
Skagway
Skagway,
was
I tried to kill you guys.
Yes, we were traumatized from that.
But that's mom's fault, not the port's fault.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's not a good vacation if the parents don't almost traumatize their kids at least once on a vacation.
That is true.
happens.
Like the 20-mile bike ride we did in Arizona.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Anything else you want to tell them?
Nope.
You want to say bye to Mike and Scotty?
Bye, Mike and Scotty.
All right, go send
See
Scott
you,
some.
Landon.
Scott,
We'll see you soon enough, buddy, and have a great school year.
Yes, absolutely, and send Scott some Skyline.
Please do.
Bye, guys. Have
See
a good
you,
night.
see you, Jody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
What a great call. 407-413-9395. That's great. I mean, that's a great recap. I mean,
That's good.
Landon's as honest as I
I
can
like.
be.
It's crazy how smaller that ship is, though. Like that's a nice benefit when you go to like a port and your ship is just smaller. Like it's going to make it like that less crowded, on some of your port days.
And you can really feel it when you go from like a Wish class ship or a Fancy Dream to a Magic Wonder. It's just like, you're like, where is everybody? And at first you're like, it kind of feels a little bit weird. But then like by day 2, you're just like, this is nice. Cause I'm
This
not
is nice.
battling. I'm not battling like, this many people for anything, it is when you get off in the ports. Now, like Landon mentioned, a big old ship comes parked next to you. And that's what you notice when you go into port days. Cause we had the same thing happen to us in St. Thomas. Like we got in early and then a Royal ship came in. Man, which one was it? It was a big one. It was Royal Caribbean of the seas. And dude, that port got busy fast.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, we were there probably 3 or 4 hours before it got in. And as soon as it got in, man, it was just like, oh. And that's why these Alaskan ports are talking about limiting the cruise ship stops, because it just sometimes, you get 2 or 3 of these bigger ships in at once and it just overwhelms the port.
Absolutely overwhelming. Yep.
All right, 47413-9395. We had some stock ups and stock downs. Chris Gradick over on Facebook said, finally had the buffalo chicken grilled cheese this past Tuesday. Said, totally worth it. And, whoa. Stock up.
Oh,
I know I hit the wrong button. Let's
it's
see.
funny. I did my stock was up on the Polynesian, and then boom, a bunch of articles came out about updates on the Polynesian. That's so funny.
We make things happen on the
We
Be Our
do.
Guest podcast. We try for you guys as hard as we can. All right, we had a couple calls coming in during that one. So if you want to give us a call, 407-413-9395. The phone lines are back open. We've had lots of great calls tonight, but let's keep them coming until the top of the hour. 413-9395. Veronica says, hey guys, about to drive home from a wedding. Glad to have this good company on the way home. Safe drive to Veronica. Shout out to Jason as well. Yeah, here's the call that was trying to get in. Go ahead, Scott.
I was going to ask you, did you see like that rendering, like where you could like that fireworks viewing from the Polynesian Tower? Like that looked kind of sweet. That little like garden area that they had.
I think they were stock up in you know, they were like, well, Scotty G's got stock up, so we got to give some quick artwork. Get on it overnight. Somebody pulled an overnighter for you.
Hopefully the rendering will apply and and be actual, you know, because sometimes those renderings change.
That's true. Subject to change. All right, we have our next call. Hey, who's joining us? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Bill from Birmingham, Alabama. Hey, guys.
Hey, dare I say, Roll Tide?
I know Bill, I believe.
It's Roll Tide, correct?
You do know Bill. Yes, you do.
Okay. All right. And you were also sailing with Scotty G over in Norway, right? That's how you know each other?
Well, we're not in Norway, but we met up with him after the Norway trip.
Okay. All righty. Well, welcome to the show, Bill. How's it going?
Yeah. Hey, good, man. Good. Enjoying the conversation tonight. A question for you guys. We're headed down, my wife and kids and I are headed down to Disney World Friday for a long weekend, and the new Genie Plus system, from what I've read, your best value as far as being able to have choices, if you will, is to use it in the morning. I mean, am I right on that? I mean, if you wait and try to use it in the afternoon, it seems like from what I've read that the choices just seem to get diminished. Do y'all know anything about that?
Scott, you want to take it?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that statement, Bill, because you want to try to maximize as much you can get done throughout the day. So if you're waiting until later in the day, like that's going to kind of limit you to the number of attractions you can do. So I'd say book early and book often as you do those attractions, because then you can start getting those rolling fast passes. Is the way I understand it. I personally have not used the system yet, but that's the way everything I've read that I've been reading is definitely take advantage and book early. And check often too, because like things change all the time. It's kind of interesting, right? Like you could look for like a Slinky Dog and it might not show there, and then boom, later on in the day it pops up. So like definitely like refresh the app and keep checking throughout the day, which is also kind of a bummer because like we don't want to be tied to our phones, right? On a Disney vacation. That's what we loved about cruising, right, Bill? Like we were like away from our phones, just enjoying our time with our people. But like sometimes at Walt Disney World, you gotta have that device attached to you so that you can expand that experience.
Yeah, it almost feels like, you know, if you wanted to have like a lazy morning down there and then kind of hang out at the pool for a little while, you know, you almost start thinking, well, because I can't stack them anymore, right? So it almost feels like, you know, you're just going into the park in the afternoon or early evening, you know, you may not even want to get Genie Plus now. I don't know. I guess I'm going to experience and find out.
Yeah, I haven't used it either. But I mean, I believe though, because you can book these 7 days in advance. I'm trying to think. I mean, why? I would assume though, you should be able to. Could you not though still book your first 3 though for the afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, you could. Like, so if you're doing a pool day or something, right? Like, I totally could see you doing that, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm just gonna hang out at the pool, so I'm gonna try to find something for 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 6 o'clock or whatever. But if you're trying to do like an all day in the park, I think there's an advantage to book early so that you can keep adding on. But yeah, you can definitely like have that chill morning and book late.
But then But then you know what's the return on your investment, right? If you do it like from 4 o'clock on, you're only getting 6 hours worth of Genie, 6 hours worth of Genie Plus for the $1. But yeah, it's again, you got to look at the cost benefit, I would say.
Yep. I think you're right. Well, I'm gonna go experience it and find out, guys, and I'll report back.
Well,
Bill, where are you staying for this trip?
We're using our points at the Polynesian.
Oh, dude,
you will definitely be spending some time in the morning in the pool there, right? I mean, I love that DVC pool too. That DVC pool is so nice, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Yep.
You have any nice ADRs planned for this trip?
You know, we are. Let's see, we're doing 3 nights, so we're doing a. What's the restaurant in the Italy Pavilion?
Via Napoli
or Tutto?
Not that. Tutto Italia.
Oh.
Yes, that one. And then doing a lunch in Hollywood Studios, at where's the one where the all the waiters and waitresses are kind of in character with you, like get your elbows off the table.
50s prime time.
Yeah,
That's my wife's favorite. That's my wife's favorite. I
got a question for Bill. It's like a joking question, and you won't understand it, Mike. But it was from something we talked about on the cruise. So when you're having a lunch or dinner there in Tuto in Italy, I don't think you have to worry about any drivers taking some tight corners down those alleyways, right? It should be good in Epcot, so you don't have to worry about getting hit by a car.
Yes, yeah. That guy was amazing. He was amazing. He knew what he was doing. It was not his first rodeo, brother.
Like,
sure.
Because, like, so Mike, can't you picture, like, Europe, like those small alleyways, you know, where, like, people are walking, there's restaurants. Bill was telling me this story about this. I mean, he'll tell it better than me, but about this. They're just out there having lunch or whatever, and this car just, like, is barely just making its way through this alleyway, and it does this turn. And, like, what did it do, Bill? Like, a 3-point turn, and, like, the hardest turn that you can make, like, so impressive. Like, I don't know how people drive in Europe sometimes, I swear.
It was so impressive, I had to video it. It was amazing.
The only thing better would be that
it was a place where no car should have ever gone.
Did it have one of those like European like sirens that goes near door, near door, near door? Because I mean that's all I picture whenever I see those little bitty teeny tiny cars that I'm 6'3" would never fit in one of those like little Fiats.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Coopers.
Yes. Yeah. No, I don't know if he had a siren or not, but it was all beat up. So you could tell he was hitting from one wall to the next. You know.
Oh man,
that's awesome. Well, have a great trip, and hey, don't be a stranger, man. We'd love to talk to you more. It's great that you called in today. How are things down? How are things down in Alabama? I love Alabama. I spent some time down in Huntsville.
Yeah, it's great. Everybody's fired up because football season's starting, bro. Right, and so big changes in Tuscaloosa this year, but everybody's cautiously optimistic, Mike. So
I think so.
We'll see.
I just gotta say real quick, I don't know if you watched Game Day on Saturday, but how uncomfortable did Coach Saban look next to what's his face, the YouTube guy, McAfee or what's his name? Scott.
Pat McAfee. Yes.
That clown. Why do they put him next to? Because I love Saban. He's my I know Scott's not a big fan because he used to be at Michigan State, and I get it. But I love Coach Saban. And the thing is, like, they put him right next to that clown. Like, I mean, like, seriously. Like, he's just like, this is what my life has become in a year. Like, I'm sitting next to this dude now. Like, I gotta sit next a foot from this clown. Come on now. At least put him next to somebody else.
He did look a little uncomfortable. I
totally. He didn't know what to do with his hands.
Pat's antics.
Even my wife said he doesn't know what to do with his hands yet. I'm like, I did this first time. Like, give him, cut him some slack. I was like, let him coach. But anyway, whatever.
Hey, Bill, before you go, like, so my internet like froze when you first called. So I don't know if you mentioned this or not, but like, it was a highlight for me and my family meeting you and your wife on the cruise. That was so cool for me. We're just hanging out, and then you're like, "Hey, Scotty G," and we did the tour together and all that. So like, that was a highlight for me. I hope you had a great cruise, and I can't wait to share those videos coming up because like you'll remember a lot of those ports obviously that we went to. You did the same cruise, so can't wait to share that with you. But I appreciate the friendship, and I hope we stay in touch because it was awesome running into you.
It was a real celebrity sighting, man. When I saw you sitting down in the casino.
Okay. I didn't know if you were okay with saying that. We met in the casino, Mike. That's where we met. It was hilarious.
You saw him in his natural environment right there.
And honestly, I don't know how the rest of the cruise went for you, Bill.
I appreciate those words, man. I really do. Very kind.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It was great seeing you, and like hopefully we can meet up in Walt Disney World sometime soon. So. But I won't say the RT. I'm not going to give you an RT, but it was nice to meet you for sure.
Yeah. That's right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. You'd love that guy, Mike.
I can tell.
He's awesome.
I can tell. All right. Well, hey, Scott, that's going to do it for tonight. What a show. We had great calls tonight, man. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun tonight. I know we're a little delayed. I couldn't figure out my microphone and all that, but it was all good. And like, I'm not going to be here next weekend, though. It's Labor Day weekend. So sorry to bail on you again, Mike.
That's all right. I'll be here. We'll be taking your calls, so it's no big deal. The callers will be the co-hosts of the show next week. And so
maybe we'll call in depending on what we're doing at the time.
Yeah. So. I mean, a little country music in the background, maybe have a cowboy hat on. Who knows? Doubt that.
Maybe
I'll bust mine out. I'll wear mine for you. I have mine upstairs. So we'll see.
There we go.
All right. So we are going to get out here, but we will have a show next week because, again, I never go anywhere because we have cheerleading and
Unless you miss the hospital. No, just kidding.
Dude, shut up, dude. I am going to kill you if you say that again. You do not even know. I was not a good patient this time.
Yeah. We're good enough friends where I can like put that wisecrack in there.
But you can. But
let's not have any more hospital visits.
Let me just leave this here. When I was being rolled out on what day was that? Wednesday. I went in on Sunday night, like right about this time. And
it was Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Yeah, it was Tuesday.
Because we recorded the show for Wednesday right as you got out.
Right. It was Tuesday, like evening, like afternoon. And I just remember because they got to like wheel you to your car, like to the door, and then just dump you out into your car when your wife picks you up. And I just remember telling the nurse, because like, you know, they're like 12-hour nurses, right? So I had like a cycle of them, like 5 or 6. And so I just remember telling her, I'm like, I apologize to you if I was mean. I was like, I am a really nice person. I was like, but I was in a lot of pain and you were asking me to do things I did not want to do. And I am stubborn. And I said, and not only am I sorry to you, could you please pass along my apologies to the previous 4 nurses that I had before? Because I will probably not see them. And I might be bringing gifts because I was so mean. Because it was not pretty, because I'm just not a good patient. Like they were asking me to do things I didn't want to do. And I know doctors have your best, like, I guess, you know, they're trying to take care of you, but I didn't want to be taken care of.
And your health is like in their hands. So you might want to do what they're doing, asking you to do. I'm
like, are you kidding me? And because then it's like, just one more. I'm like, no, that wasn't the bargain. I'm like, no, we're not doing one more. Like if I was running a marathon, and they started doing analogies with me, like, dude, you said you were a marathoner. You're like, somebody told me, like even Pam, like my wife was in there. I was trying to do this one thing, and like you're trying to get like one more like thing down, and they're like, dude, you're back in Epcot for the marathon. I'm like, stop with the analogies. I'm like, you don't know how bad it sucks when you're in Epcot on the marathon, dude. Everything in your body hurts. You don't even want to take another step. I'm there. Well,
I'll just tell you this little visit gave me some early Christmas shopping ideas for when we do the Christmas Eve episode.
If they had closed circuit television in that room, dude, this could have been this would have been $1 million seller but it would have been not safe for work. I just got to say. Anyway, we are going to get out of here. I don't know why I even put that out here, but we're all friends. All right. So don't forget, today's show is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We are here this week to help you plan a day. Don't forget, Disneyland is now available to book for 2025. Hey, Scott, I booked Hojo.
Oh, look at you.
Staying at the Hojo for
the famous
January.
Hojo.
Is it you've stayed there?
I have not. I always do the Fairfield.
Fairfield. Yeah. Okay. I'm doing Hojo. So I'll be at Hojo, but if you want to, stay at Disneyland for 2025 for the races, for any other trip, you got to get out there, man. It is amazing. 70th anniversary this year coming up. Get out there for all the excitement. Just swing by the magicforless.com, fill out that quote form. We'll take care of you and get you great Disney gift cards to boot for those bookings. No additional cost to you. Also, Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney. Check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Carolyn says she stayed at the Hojo. So, yes, all the cool people staying there. If Carolyn stayed there, it's good enough for me. I like it. All right. Also, don't forget our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Please click that anytime you go shopping on Amazon. That supports our show. One extra click takes like 5 seconds and keeps us on the air. And also, speaking of keeping us on the air, our patrons keep us on the air. That's the biggest thing. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. $5 a month. It's like a cup of coffee a month is all it takes. And you'll get a bonus show every single week called Mike in the Midwest. This week, we did over an hour-long show. We were talking teachers. We opened up the phone lines. We got stories from folks, how a teacher made a difference in their life. We talked the state of education, back to school stuff, and just had a good time doing that. So if you want to get a bonus show in your feed and it's outside of Disney, coming over. It's called Mike in the Midwest. Just go to patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. The money goes to the big show, goes to this show. to keep everything, the video hosting, the audio hosting, the bandwidth, all that stuff. So we appreciate that so much. Patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Give Scott a follow on the social media at @Scott, EPSCOT. I'm at BRGuestMike. Of course, check out Scott over at Must See Adventures, closing in on 500 subscribers.
We
Scott,
got there, baby.
You're
We got
there.
to 500.
You're there. I thought
Yeah.
so.
I recorded a funny short, so go see the short and see if we, or maybe I'm lying, so go see if we actually did get to 500, but we did.
All right. I thought I saw that, but otherwise, I was thinking
dude,
you were
and
like
it kind
right
of blew up.
around
Now
there.
we're to 525. So I appreciate the support. Thanks
Dude.
everyone for liking and subscribing. We're going to have a video on Flom coming out. It's probably already out by the time this hits the feed. So I hope you enjoy that.
Well, by the time this comes out on the feed, it's 1,000. I mean, he's got 1,000 subscribers by Thursday. I mean,
Dude,
whatever. Dude,
if that happens,
10,000.
like,
Who
ooh,
knows?
watch out.
Who knows? What? I mean, yeah, he's already there.
Most impressive.
There we go. Darth is right there with him. He's jamming. All right, don't forget, I'm at BRGuestMike. I mean, I'm not having as many subscribers as Scotty G, but come on, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. We'd love to talk to you there. But the place we want to hang out is the Clubhouse, BRGuestPodcast.com/Clubhouse. Julie's there, Mohawk's there, everybody's there. I didn't even get to mention all the cool feedback we had. We went so quick this week, but you want to get some tips for the Halloween party? We have Halloween party tips there. We had a guest there that gave great tips. Just got back yesterday for just recent feedback. We have that live at Walt Disney World thread. Folks that are there right now giving pictures, thoughts, updates from the parks right now. That's just an amazing feed to check out. We talk sports. We have a sports channel. It's a great place during college football. Man, it's going to be awesome during college football, man. The pain yesterday already. I mean, the first day of college football, pain in that thread. But it's going to be fun. Come over and be a part of the community over at BRGuestPodcast.com/Clubhouse. All right, we're getting out of here. We'll be back again next Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. We'll catch you here. Same place, same channel. So until then, for Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Sunday night or Thursday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.